welcome to our channel. Some of my friends have messaged me, asked how I ended up in the Philippines. So I thought I'd make this short video and just share my experience of how I ended up coming here. After getting a divorce, and my oldest son had went online and met a girl in Australia, went there on his vacation, came back and said, "Dad, I'm going back to marry her." And that was about 2 years before I came over here, and he's been there ever since. Anyway, I just felt like I was getting depressed and I wanted to change and do something new in my life after the divorce. So I thought if my son could do it, I could do it. So I went online and I paid a month $25 to one of these web apps, dating sites. And I probably had, I don't know, 50 or 75 girls' emails, because you had to pay to get their email or phone numbers. And I start chatting with them, and one at a time, you know, either they just started out asking for money right off the bat, or we could talk 2 minutes and then just there's nothing to talk about. So I went through all of them. I didn't feel like wanting to pay again. I just started looking at some of the websites, and they could post like a profile telling something about yourself, but they weren't supposed to put an email or phone number in it. Except for my little honey here, I came across her profile, and she had it spaced out and spelt different. I forget at that time it was like Liesel, and then she wrote out dot Tabor, or not Tabor, but Cabanasson at the time. And then she put in like contact me at Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah, I mean, but she had it spelled different, so the computer did not pick it up and take it off. But, you know, if you was looking at it, you would know that this is what she was meaning. And I thought, well, if she's smart enough to outwit that computer and get that on here, I want to talk with her. Anyway, I sent her a message. We made a date to get online. We started chatting with each other, and back then we were using the old Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah, Yahoo Messenger.
Anyway, we just clicked. I mean, we could sit and talk for 2 hours, no problem. I could anyway, but she was working, and the only time she could chat with me was when she got off work at night. And I would keep.
12 midnight?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'd keep her up all night, and we'd text and text. So anyway, we chatted for almost a year, and things just wasn't going good, and I decided I was going to make a change. So I got on the plane. I come over here. When I got to Manila, I'd got the times messed up, and she was supposed to meet me in Manila at the airport, but I got the time wrong. And
Did you arrive early?
yeah,
A day?
and I told her that I'd be arriving there at 10 a.m. in the morning, and I arrived there at 10 p.m. that night. And so when I got there, I give her a phone call, and she had already reserved a hotel room. And I told her I was there, and you say, "What?"
I can't.
Yeah. She says, "No, you can't, because I'm still in Dumaguete."
You can't go.
She was going to fly up the next morning. I said, "Well, I'm already here." So she gave me the name of the hotel where she made reservations and stuff, and she texted them that I was a-coming. And of course, this is the first time I ever been out of the country. And I go outside, and, you know, guys are coming at you, 5 or 6 of them, because they're all trying to make money, wanting to get your bags and take you. You got taxis there, plus you also got private vehicles that are wanting to make money. So finally, a security guard came over, and he showed me a guy that he said you can go with him. He took me to the airport, and she told me what time she is arriving the next day. So I got a driver with a car through the hotel. Excuse me. Took me over to the domestic airport to meet her, and of course there was a little lot outside the airport there for the domestic, and the street, and right across the street a fenced in area where you'd sit and wait for the people coming out. And in a few minutes I looked up and I saw this little bitty girl come out.
I'm 5 feet tall.
Yeah, she always told me she's 5 feet. And anyhow, I looked across the street, and she's real shy, like she just kind of waved like this. And I think to myself, oh, what have I done? This is a little 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl. And she was, what, at that time, 32?
I'm 2005, so I'm 34.
Okay, 34 years old. But she is so little, and I've measured her since then. She's 4 feet 8 inches tall.
I'm 5 feet with a wedge.
A big wedge.
With a wedge sandal is 5 feet,
With
right?
a big wedge.
Right, baby?
Like some kiss boots, maybe she'd be 5 foot.
I'm cute.
So, anyway, we spent the night there. We came back to Domageddon the next day. And,
Not the next day, because
well,
at that time is we have to wait for Papa to arrive, right? So that we will be coming, like the 3 of us coming back to Domageddon.
oh yeah,
What happened? His flight is delayed.
yeah, her papa was an overseas worker at Saipan, the Mariana Islands, and he was coming home because he wanted to be at the wedding, and I think he had to renew his international driver's license. He drove a truck. But we get back to Domageddon, and I'd called home and talked to my youngest son, who had been living with me back in the States, and he had already missed me and wanted to come over. So we planned our wedding day on March 12th, and so he would have time to get here. And we go back to Manila to meet him and bring him down, and he's here, and I can show you just a few of the wedding pictures where he's able to be there is good, or Papa was able to be here because he hadn't been home in years and years, working overseas. And now then, I got to tell you, you just can't find a better wife than a Filipino wife. The good thing about it is most Filipinos speak English and speak it real good. Now, a lot of them speak, like her, she speaks 3 languages. Tagalog, which is the national language that's spoken in Manila, the capital. And they have to learn Tagalog, though,
Through school.
on another island.
Oh, yeah.
When they're going to school, they start out learning the Tagalog and English. And most of the time, their dialect of the island that they speak, because there's a lot of different dialects here on different islands. And a lot of it is similar, but it's hard to understand if they're from a different island or something. So anyway, she can speak the 3. My son had a girlfriend that could speak 5 languages, because her dad was from one island, her mama was from a different island, had their own
Yeah.
dialect, and of course she had to learn Tagalog, she had to learn English, and because she raised up here in Visaya, she learned the Visaya, so she could speak those 5 languages. And we moved, I think, first house we got was just right behind
Behind our
where we're at now. This house here is her mom's house and her family where they were all living. So we rented a nice 3-bedroom house up here for $200 a month and 10,000 pesos a month. That'd be 200 US. And stayed there close to a year. Then we moved out. Of course, my son was here with me. We moved out, farther out of town to a 2-bedroom apartment. And it was only, I think it's 6,000 pesos a month, which would be like $120 a month. And fenced in, nice place. But at that time, it was a long ways out of town. She was going to work and hard to get a tricycle. So after almost a year there, a house right next door to us, 2 houses down the road here, came available, and it was a 4-bedroom house with a 2 carport garage on it, and it was only 10,000 a month. So we moved there, and finally we'd come over to visit her family and everything, and I just decided, because she would work Monday through Friday every day, and I said, you know, why don't we just see if we can build on over there to the house, us a little apartment, and that way we don't have to pay the rent, because it just be me staying there most of the time during the day. Well, that's what we did. We built this little apartment here. We're in our little kitchen now. We got a good sized bathroom there. We got our own private bathroom and bedroom here. And got the family, all lives here with us, and it's a good family. I got lucky. You know, some of the guys come over here and they look for what I call a trophy wife, which it's easy to get. But a lot of these girls that they go after to get work in the bars or the strip joints. And then when one of them ends up taking them for some money, they whine and cry and complain about it. And I told them, I said, well, what do you expect when you go get that type of girl? I came over here looking for a wife and a companion, and that's what I got. And I'll tell you what, she treats me better than I've ever been treated in my life. Even today, after 16 years,
16.
we go out and get coffee, and before I can do anything, she's putting my cream in it, she's stirring it for me, handing it to me. And of course, I've had 3 back operations, and I've got a bad leg. It's hard for me. I can't bend to tie the shoe. She'll put my shoes on, socks when I need to, and just takes total care for me. Calls me her big baby. Anyhow, my son, he spent a couple of years here. Then he got homesick and went back to the States. And I've got a good life here. I love my family. I love the people. Of course, you gotta earn their respect to start with, you know. And they're used to a lot of the foreigners that come here that think they're so much better than the Filipinos and so much smarter and whatever. But if you treat them with respect, I found out that, you know, you'll get the respect back. Anyway, later on, I have some more information about how to stay safe if you're visiting another country, and what security is like here in Philippines, and especially Dumaguete where I live. So you come back and join us again, and I'll give you some more info on all that. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. And thank you.